Good evening, my friend. Welcome to WDW Radio Live. I am Lou Mongello. It is Wednesday night, my favorite night of the week. If you are watching live, thank you for being here. Please do me a favor, tag, share, and invite a friend. And of course, sit back, relax, and enjoy, because tonight we're going to talk about sort of the year in review. And I think enough time has officially passed that we need to speak about Spider-Man No Way Home in a somewhat, if you haven't been spoiled yet, kudos to you, but you should be spoiled because there's a lot to be thankful for in that movie. Speaking of thanks, thank you to all of you for helping to make this Christmas and this holiday so very wonderful. I hope that you enjoyed your time with your family, your friends, your pets, your presents, whatever it may have been, however you may have celebrated. I actually have some friends who were, they decided to spend Christmas on Disney Cruise Line. So there's a question for you. Where would you, I think we talked about this last week, where would you rather spend, if you had to choose, would you rather spend Christmas in a Disney park or on a Disney cruise? I'm starting to lean towards the Disney cruise option, which I think would be a little bit less crowded, possibly a little bit more relaxing. So let's, first things first, let's talk a little bit about the end of the year. I get very sort of nostalgic and sentimental and reflective, not just because of my advanced age, but just because of this time of year. And as we always do every year, we're going to do a Disney year in review. But I would love to hear from you. I want a lot of this show really to, once again, like we did last week, be about you. And here's some of your thoughts to some questions I have that we sort of pose at the end of the year. And so from a Disney perspective, right, purely from a Disney perspective, what was the best or most memorable Disney moment from 2021? And if you want to incorporate everything in the Disney umbrella, Marvel, Star Wars, Spider-Man, whatever it might be, what was your best or most memorable moment? It could be something personal to you. It could be something specific about the parks. There's a reason why I'm wearing this shirt and hat tonight, because I know very much where my answer lies. So what for you was a best or memorable moment? I'm not kidding when I say that Spider-Man No Way Home was an absolute gift. It was a gift to Disney, Marvel, Spider-Man fans like myself. Jeff C. says, awesome year. It was my first year at Momentum, plus spent some time in the parks with family. Jeff, I will absolutely add Momentum to my list. Very, very high on my list of favorite moments from 2021. Due in large part because you were there, not just as an attendee, but as a presenter. And you brought not just the beard, but a whole lot of wit, wisdom, personality, and incredible knowledge. Heather says, finally getting to see Becky and getting a hug? Heather didn't get out much this pair. I'm kidding, because I love Heather and I love Becky Menken. Carrie also says Spider-Man No Way Home, taking my granddaughter, says Lily Johns, for her first trip. Christopher says the 50th anniversary, taking my 76-year-old mother to the candlelight processional. Brian, you've heard me talk at length about my absolute love for the candlelight processional and how incredibly moving it is. And I don't know why it took me so long to find it on Spotify this year. So if you happen to be driving around the Orlando, not that I leave the house very often, but if you happen to find yourself driving around the Orlando area around the holidays and you saw a man in his little Honda just sort of weeping uncontrollably over the steering wheel, that was me listening to the candlelight processional on Spotify, because I love it just that much. The best moment for me was returning to the parks for the first time since 2019, as I think a lot of people feel the same way, Mark. October 1st was just amazing. Taking my I think that means my grandniece and nephew to the world for the first time. Look at how many memories, excuse me, are How many moments are not about this thing that opened, this meal at 8? It's about the people that we go with and the memories that we share. That's what Walt Disney World is all about. Like I've said this for years. It's not about princesses or rides or even, God dare I say, the boathouse, but it's about the memories that this place helps us create with the people that we care about the most. Everything Marvel from Disney Plus to the movies. Jeff was amazing as always. Finally getting to see so many of my Disney family at Wine and Dine. For some people, Run Disney coming back was a very important aspect, because for a lot of people that is their core of their Disney experience. That's the draw for the Disney experience. So Becky says, aren't you happy you get to see me in 5 days? Is it hot? Why am I sweating? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yay. I mean, yeah, I said oi, I meant yay. Oi and yay in Yiddish, they're interchangeable. Oi and yay mean the exact same thing. Look it up. It's true. Topolino's Spaceship Earth, Beacon of Magic. Beacon of Magic, specifically at Epcot, Katie McNamara, is an absolute highlight from the parks, specifically Walt Disney World. I think it's arguably one of the best, or the best, new edition. Not new edition, the hip hopish band from the 90s, but new addition to the parks. Amanda Bonner says, my best moment was moving to the Magic and having lunch with Lou. Yes, I agree, Amanda. There's nothing like coming and moving to Walt Disney World. Jennifer says, my favorite thing that hit the heart was seeing the castle show back. The shows are my favorite, so seeing it again was magical. I think, Jennifer, you echo the sentiment of a lot of people who their first times back in the park were emotional, but seeing the return of insert your favorite live entertainment here, whether it was a castle stage show, Matzurita, performers in the parks, wherever live entertainment coming back might be. I was thinking today, I was like, God, has it really been a year and a half since the parks reopened? And it has. I mean, it was sort of June, July last year. So it's been, almost 18 months or so, forget my math, since the parks reopened, excuse me, and we're still not sort of back up to 100% yet. And, as the world is going through everything that's happening out there, we don't know when, excuse me, things will fully return. But there were a lot of those magical moments. Marx is going to watch the 50th stream on the 1st since I couldn't be there. Caleb also says going to Walt Disney World during the 50th anniversary and Destination D23 was also a great event. My favorite memory was watching Lou give a presentation to our high school 5 times in a row over 2 days. Wow, I forgot about that. But that was a privilege and an honor, and I hope I didn't scar those children too bad. My feeling as a speaker and as a presenter, I mean this sincerely, is I don't care if I speak to a room of 20 or 2,000. My goal is to reach one person. Like, I think as a speaker, if you're able, when I say reach, I mean if you're able to positively and in a meaningful way impact somebody who is in that audience, then that's the reason why you're there. Especially for me, like I am, for many reasons, like I am not someone who is on stage because I'm worried about or trying to, nor do I ever sell from the stage. It is not about trying to promote something else that I do or something else that I offer. It's trying to literally, like, my goal when I step on there is to have an impact, a positive impact on at least one. And it's interesting. And I actually prefer smaller rooms and smaller venues to a larger auditorium, because I love being able to look around and make eye contact with people. Excuse me. I'm not actually, not that I'm not comfortable, but I would rather have that than a 2,000 seat keynote stage where you can't see past the first 3 rows because the lights are dim, because when you make eye contact and you know that you're reaching somebody, that's the thing for me. Like, that's the reason why I'm way off on a tangent. So sorry. Spaceship Earth was such a pleasant surprise. Remember when Spaceship Earth was supposed to close? Remember when Spaceship Earth was supposed to close in 2021? Beatrice Dennis, finally, somebody mentions a food-related favorite item. Space 220 is up there. I need to do a live review of Space 220, and the problem is I can't find anybody to go with me. Nobody. I'm sure anybody I'll find in the future to go. So Kelly, is Beacon's permanent? So they really haven't said. I cannot. I look. They're not going to take those lights off of Spaceship Earth, right? They're not going to sort of remove them after 18 months. I think they've especially specifically with Spaceship Earth, they've hit on something that is a huge guest satisfier. The work is already done because it's a one-time install. We saw during the holidays how they're able to program the lights not only to different music, but to look like snow, a Christmas ball, a Christmas tree, whatever they might. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for that going forward. I certainly don't think, especially that one, is going anywhere. My buddy Iggy says, watching the return of concerts, even if by local bands, I agree. Candlelight Processional for me was the big sort of live music return that I was really most excited for. Father George says, watching Enchantment with the Mongellos, the only thing that's better than watching Enchantment is when you watch it with Father George. And if you're somehow able to work that into a future trip, contact your Mouse Fan travel agent and Father George. See if you can make that happen, because he is a gift. He is a gift. Iggy Torres also says the return of Momentum. By the way, I'll be having some Momentum-related news and updates and ... Insert mystery sound here after the new year. Excuse me. Getting to do a clubhouse meetup was pretty epic. Raglan Road had a blast. James, I'm happy to hear that Linda is recovering. Let's see. I would dig a 2,000 per keynote if it meant the pandemic was over. Yeah, things are. I'm hearing things closing again. From what I understand, the Mall of Millennia, or at least I know the Apple Store, is closing like as of tomorrow, like all next week. Like they're just closed. I'm assuming that the Mall of Millennia did not fall into a sinkhole, and that it must be COVID related, which is incredibly sad and scary. And from a purely a Disney perspective, we certainly hope that this doesn't mean that things are going to start going backwards. I have a friend who's on Disney Cruise Line right now, and there are some things that are happening on board the ships in terms of the closing of the kids clubs. Like all of the kids clubs on board the ship have closed. I don't know if it's a single ship-wide closure or if it's a cruise line-wide closure, but fingers crossed that we get over this hump, excuse me, and things get back to, remember 2018? I'm going to go back and replay the 2018 year in review just for all the good stuff. Jeff C says, Momentum is a perfect example of a small conference that creates change, such a great event. Notice I did not read the first part. It is not my event, Jeff. It is our event. It is our collective community event. I do not put that on by myself. Again, build a clubhouse. You are the ones that populate it. It is the exact same thing. Are you kidding me? 5 days, you can take me to all the places you promised and an Egg McMuffin. I will promise you an Egg McMuffin. I can't necessarily guarantee anything else. Let me see. Courtney had a baby girl. Congratulations. That is the most special moment you could have is adding someone to your family, whether through birth, marriage, adoption, whatever it might be, welcoming somebody into your family. So congratulations. Angela says, returning to the parks with my family, introducing friends to Disney parks for the first time. How do you have friends who've never been to the Disney parks? But I guess it's fun for you too, because it's like you get to experience that with them for the first time and teach them along the way as well. Avengers Campus, without a doubt. Praying for Marathon Weekend. Yeah, Marathon. Can you believe Marathon Weekend is please say it's more than a week away, because I'm starting to sweat again. 2019 was a good year, but then everything closed. So I'm trying not to. There's positives to be taken away from every year. So, no kids club would make for a very different Marvel cruise. I don't think. I cannot imagine. Listen, however you do your thing, whether you pray, you manifest, you light incense, whatever thing that you need to do to make the good juju happen, no cancellations, no changes. Everything is going to happen as planned, and that's what I stay in my positive little heart. So, what was your favorite? Well, I guess in some of your favorite moments, some of you talked about your favorite or not, maybe not. What is your favorite new addition or change to the parks? It's funny that nobody talked about Ratatouille. Nobody talked about, some of the other new things that had come, and I'm going to answer this one for you, but I'll let you. What was your favorite movie that came out in 2021? Hey, everyone. Oh, wait. Hey, everyone. There's a reason why I'm all spideyed up tonight. What was your favorite movie that came out in 2021? We can have a separate conversation about Spider-Man. We'll save that for the end in case you have not seen it. What have you been doing? And don't want to be spoiled. A lot of Spider-Man No Way Home, Ashley Grissom, and Kanto, which I just watched again the other day at home this time on Disney Plus. That was a nice Christmas gift, by the way, getting Encanto on Disney Plus so quickly. Ghostbusters Afterlife, Jonathan, was a surprise win, because it was one of those, when I heard announced, I was like, uh-oh. It's not going to be like that 2018 debacle that I could not get through it. But I was very, very pleasantly surprised. Like, Ghostbusters Afterlife hit on all cylinders, from fan service to nostalgia to action. And I love how, much like in Spider-Man No Way Home, those kids, although they were much younger, those kids carried that movie, the weight of that movie all on their shoulders. George Wang says Free Guy. We loved Free Guy. I watched Free Guy a couple of weeks ago. Really, really liked it. Nobody talks about Ratatouille because nobody got to ride it. Nobody talked about the nighttime spectaculars at the parks. Jungle Cruise, Beacon of Magic, Avengers Campus, Ratatouille, Encanto. Favorite movie is a rhetorical question. I'm assuming because the answer is Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, I loved other movies. I mean, there were other movies that I liked. Iggy Torres says West Side Story, and I'm not sure if you're serious or not. I did not hear great things about West Side Story, even though it's a Steven Spielberg thing. I think it also got lost in the shuffle of timing, but watched Encanto again last week. Loved it. I definitely liked Encanto more the second time than I did after watching it the first. I think it was also when and where and how I watched it. But I enjoyed it more watching it at home. It would have been nice if I was able to watch it like with some buñuelos and some of that other good stuff. A little bit of Colombian food to bring in the Colombian flair, but I dug it. Lot of love for Spider-Man No Way Home. Becky hasn't seen Ghostbusters yet. Not a shocker. I will bet you $42.7 million Becky has not seen Encanto yet. She doesn't even know what Encanto is. I'm getting old. I cried in Spider-Man and Ghostbusters. Jeff C., let me help you out, my friend. I wept. And this clearly, there's a trend in Lou Mongello. I wept multiple times. Full-blown tears streaming down my, insert my age here, face watching Spider-Man. And I have no problem admitting that to you, my friends. My eyes were pretty misty at the end. We don't talk about Bruno. Poor Bruno. Silencio Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. What is their problem with people? I actually knew a Bruno. I knew my ex's father, who was from Italy. His name was Bruno. What's the lack of love for Bruno? Not a movie. Really enjoyed we're going to talk about Disney Plus stuff in a minute, including and we will not spoil if you have not seen Book of Boba Fett today. I did not get a chance to see Dune. I heard Dune was really, really good. Caleb Joshua Hill says Jungle Cruise. It's the first mention I've seen of Jungle Cruise, which I enjoyed. I think Jungle Cruise, you had to go in with I am going to sort of, and I mean this in a positive way, I'm going to put my brain on hold and I'm just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy this movie for the popcorn movie that it is. I loved it for that reason. I laughed. I found it funny. I love the callbacks to the attraction. I dug the cast a lot. So I really, really enjoyed Jungle Cruise. Tons of love coming through for Spider-Man No Way Home. I heard amazing things about West Side Story. Mike says Grease. We just did a showing of the Grease tape. I just took out the Grease tape for the holidays. I'm kidding. Nobody's seeing the Grease tape anywhere. Justin says Spider-Man was a roller coaster of emotions. Becky also hasn't watched Boba Fett yet. Not a surprise. Matrix Resurrections, I've seen that. Of all the movies Becky could see, she chose to go see Matrix Resurrection. Not any of the Disney stuff. I'm not hearing good things about Matrix Resurrection, which is sad because I like the first movie and like 1/3 of the other two. Jungle Cruise was the perfect summer fun movie. Katie McNamara, I hear you saying that in your movie guy voice, your movie gal voice. For the perfect summer fun movie, Walt Disney Pictures Jungle Cruise, opening Friday in theaters nationwide. All right, wait. Well, so it looks like many of you are jumping from the big screen to the not so small screen at your home in terms of the best Disney Plus show in 2021. The best Disney Plus show 2021 was a good year for Disney Plus. I'm trying to remember, when did WandaVision? WandaVision premiered in January. Yeah, so WandaVision is a 2021. What was the best Disney Plus show? I think this is going to be very interesting. Loki. Wow, a lot of love for Hawkeye, which was fine. Hawkeye was fine. It was very much not my favorite. Behind the Attraction, Ashley Rylander, very, very, very good answer. WandaVision. I'm Amanda with you. Of all the Disney Plus shows, I think WandaVision was the most entertaining, the most groundbreaking, the most mysterious. Mephisto confirmed. Still, hexagons. Everywhere I go, I'm like, look, hexagons. Mephisto confirmed. I was in the Contemporary a couple weeks ago. I'm like, look, Mephisto. I think watching a Hawkeye will be a Christmas tradition. Really enjoyed watching that with the fan. That's very, very interesting. I thought Hawkeye was good. I didn't think Hawkeye was amazeballs. WandaVision. Now I'm doing I'm singing WandaVision in my. I almost sang it out loud, which you don't want to have. That would be the worst Christmas present. um, Loki or Hawkeye. So it looks primarily, I mean, I'm doing a very unofficial sort of survey and scrolling through the comments. It looks like WandaVision coming in first, then Loki, Hawkeye. Not interestingly enough, not a lot for Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I think for me is I mean, if I have to sort of rank the Marvel Disney Plus shows, I think it ranks on the bottom of those. Watching WandaVision week to week, being in the conversations about predictions was unlike any other show experience. Amanda, I very much agree with you because what happened with WandaVision was, and I know I'm a broken record, WandaVision was the new Lost for me because it gave me the water cooler, which meant texting and messaging people at like 12 o'clock at night about WandaVision, the water cooler conversations week to week that I hadn't had since I watched Lost when it came out. Yikes, 17 years ago. I'm still having those conversations with myself because I'm still sort of like casually falling asleep to my 6-3 watch. I know I have a problem and it's called Lost and I love it and I don't care. The conversations I had with people about WandaVision, including here on the show, on the Nation calls, in the spoiler support group. I think it's why the spoiler support group actually was formed, right? Was formed around WandaVision. I did not feel and have not had really with any of the other shows to that same degree. A little bit with Loki. There were some of those conversations about Falcon, but a lot of them were not always positive. And I think not positive because we were not supposed to like John Walker, and I think not positive because of just the show itself, and some of the moments in there. But there's a lot of love for WandaVision. Welcome to Earth with Will Smith is awesome. I have not gotten there yet. Casey Atkinson says Mandalorian. So I'm not saying I didn't include Mandalorian because it didn't sort of debut in 2021, but I think it's some of the best Disney Plus programming, period. That being said, and I do not want to spoil anything for anyone, but have you seen Book of Boba Fett came out today? I watched it earlier today in a non-spoiler review. It was fine. It was good. To quote a Mel Brooks quote, nice. Not thrilling, but nice. I think it's ramping up. There were some things I really liked about Book of Boba Fett. There was a couple of things I really did not like about Book of Boba Fett, which maybe we'll save for spoiler support group and or a secondary. Maybe we need to do another Nation call to talk about that. Renata, I agree. Falcon was definitely slow. Falcon was slow, very, very dark. There was a few. I had a bunch of not issues with it, but a lot of reasons why I did not love it. I love Baron Zemo. Baron Zemo saved. Not that it saved. Not that it needed saving, but if you know what I mean, Baron Zemo was the highlight. That was my Baron Zemo dance, by the way. Sorry for that. It's Nightmare Fuel, kids. Baron Zemo was the best part of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And the Winter Soldier. So, Kayla Archer, I'm going to start some sort of Lost comment thread, group, something, because I'm still that much of a huge fan of that show. Jonathan says, for me, it was Loki, Hawkeye, WandaVision, Behind the Attractions, Falcon, and Winter Soldier. There's a lot. I'm definitely seeing a lot of love for Hawkeye, and I'm also seeing it, especially from, not to sound old, but from a younger generation of Marvel fans. seemed to really connect with Hawkeye more. I think I didn't love. I've never been in love with the Hawkeye character. Not to take anything away from Jeremy Renner, I'm sure he's a fine actor in other roles. Um, no, I just don't love him as a character. I don't love him as an Avenger. And when he runs out of arrows, then what does he do? It doesn't matter. I don't want to spoil anything from Hawkeye. There were some connective tissue that ran through it that I really liked. There was some amazing fan service that we hoped was coming and that did come at the end, that is going to connect all of these universes together. Falcon lost me in the third or fourth show, says Amy. I do love the Ronin character, right? So sort of the Ronin Hawkeye spin-off character I like, but I don't like Hawkeye himself. Not that I don't like him. I mean, I would go out and I'd have Dunkin' Donuts with him, but just from a superhero point of view. Getting ready to watch Book of Boba Fett after the show. We can go and chat about it in the spoiler support group. And if I was better prepared, I would have a spoiler support group logo ready to go. But I don't. So just go to the spoiler support group and we could talk about it there. Falcon was very dark. Prop culture, Tacey Atkinson, very much agree. I really, really, really liked prop culture. I like Dan Lanigan back on show, whatever show I had him on, 590. I'm making up numbers. I have no idea what show number he was on. How come nobody's talking about What If, Jeff? See, you're right. Why are we not talking about What If? How do we forget about What If? Where does What If rank? From the Marvel perspective, where does What If rank? So for me, if I'm going to quickly, at the top of my head, rank my Disney Plus Marvel shows, number 1 is WandaVision. Number 2 is What If number 2? Does What If come in at number 2 ahead of Loki? Possibly. I'll put Loki second. I'll put What If third. And then the other ones after that. So I love the fact that there's so many people that love Lost. Like, I'm not the only one. Although sometimes I fast forward through some of the flashback episodes, like Sun and Jin's flashbacks and some of the other Saeed's flashback. I can fast forward through those. I watched Lost finally because of you. I still have all the questions and very few. I need to do. If I only had more time, there'd be 2 other shows I would do. And at some point, I have many, many, many plans for 2022 on the whiteboard, in my mental whiteboard. But if I had more bandwidth, I would absolutely do something about Lost, and I would do like a retro 70s and 80s show. I don't know what format it would be like, and I don't know that I would actually have the time to do, but I would love to talk about like retro 70s and 80s toys, Saturday morning cartoons, movies, the mall, like lifestyle, the music, the fashion, the cars, sitting the wrong way in the back of a station wagon, eating Doritos without a seatbelt on, doing God knows how many miles per hour down I-75 to get to Florida. Those are the things I would love to talk about if I had a taller, smarter, better looking clone. All right, let's see. Didn't really care for Hawkeye. Once you fall down the bunker hole, there is no way out. Once you go down the hatch, the hatch stuff was so good. John Locke, maybe one of my all-time favorite, and Desmond. God, I love Desmond so much. Anyway, sorry, I got way off. Haven't seen What If yet. Definitely check out What If. Becky doesn't even know what If is, so you and Cliff Ravenscraft should do a retro Lost special episode. God, I would love to. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll But what would I do with it? I don't know. I'll have to figure something out. I do. Like, there are things I need to sort of like, I have to have this cathartic conversation and release. I think that's what the nation calls are for. It allows me to sort of get through some of those things too. LuTube would be a great streaming channel. Yes, the back of the wagon with my friends getting dropped off at the mall. Oh, Woodbridge Center, Middlesex Mall, Menlo Park Mall. The amount of time I've spent with you, it's, yeah. I love, so I'm going to just rewatched Hawkeye. It's good fun. I do love Yelena. I love Yelena. I love what happens at the end because I think that we are eventually, and not to spoil anything from anything, but I eventually believe that we are going to see a convergence in and on the streets of New York for all of the New York based characters and villains. So, Spidey, I'm looking at you. The Hawkeye villain, Daredevil, a lot of the Fantastic Four, Baxter Building, like I think all of them are going to come together for sort of New York Central. Both, and I think, you know, like from a Spider-Man, like an on the ground level. I don't mean like a Battle of New York and Avengers. I mean like the streets of New York. Who is my favorite Disney character? I love Peter Pan. I love Baymax. So I know he's a Marvel character, but he's a Disney character. I love Mary Poppins. I have different top 10 best Disney characters. If only there was somebody who would do that show with me and Tim. The top 10 all-time best Disney characters. And I know best is a very subjective term, but I can make an argument for why Peter Pan is the best character. A lot of love is coming in for Hawkeye. I have a new fear of flying after watching Lost. Have I ever met Peter Pan? I mean, in the parks we've said hello, quick little high five, but nothing really sort of beyond that. Okay, we're talking about taking the Marvel universe and bring it sort of to a more local level. Let's bring this conversation to a bit of a local level. What was your favorite WDW radio, Becky? What was your favorite? Because what was your favorite WDW radio podcast episode of 2021? And for those of you that have been guests, don't be like, it's the one that I was on. Like, what was your favorite episode? I'm going to go back. And see. Let's see. Top 10 romantic places, spaces, and things to do. Resort Report. Secrets and Illusions in Magic Kingdom. Best restaurants to dine solo. Kona Cafe. Live review. Listener emails. The Music of World Showcase. Resort Report. Top 10 nighttime experiences. Kevin Lively. Unrealized attractions of the Walt Disney World Disney Decade. Disney Beach Club Resort Report. Top 10 pre-shows in Walt Disney World. Mike Purcell. Secrets and Stories of the Walt Disney World Resort. Mike Purcell. Oh, wow. A few Mike Purcells in there. The Resort Reports. Dining Reviews. Top 10 attractions that should be made into movies. Avengers Campus Review. Show 641. 10 things you didn't know about Kilimanjaro Safaris. Dan Cockrell, Secrets and Stories. Pym Test Kitchen Review. Art Pieces in Walt Disney World. Theron Skis. Disney Cruise Line. Top 10 most important moments in Star Wars history. The Avengers Campus. God, I miss Avengers Campus so much. Steakhouse 71. The Past, Present, and Future Walt Disney World. Roy Disney, Garner Holt. Delicious Disney Boat Rides. 10 things you didn't know about Walton, Washington. Tom Morris. Gosh, a lot of Becky episodes. Good Gandhi. I really like the music ones. Yeah, I have to do. I need to do um, the music of Disney's Hollywood Studios next. My problem is that there's no one, anyone, who knows about the music of Hollywood Studios that I could bring on the show to do it. That's all I'm waiting for. Somebody with a knowledge and of the music and the people and the history and the songs and the performers. Nothing. There's nobody here in the studio audience. I'm kidding. It's coming. It's coming. We need to do more resort reports. What resort report would you like? I think that we need to do another resort report. And we'll do the same thing we've done last time. We'll do a resort report. I'll go there. I'll do a live show from there. Maybe what I should do, Becky, is do like a one-night stay. I'll do like a Wednesday night stay so that I can like walk the resort, talk about the resort, and then show the resort room itself, and then order room service. Because, just to sort of get the full experience. Love the interview with Kevin Lively. The attraction should be made into film. Steakhouse 71. Oh, gosh, it was so good. That burger was so good. That smash burger was so good. Peter wants me to do an updated show about the Easter eggs in Web Slingers. I mentioned it at Avengers Campus, and he never forgot. Peter, I completely forgot about that. I'm literally going to write that down. But you know what, Peter? I probably need to go back. I need to do one more research trip because I think I missed a lot. So I'm going to do Easter eggs in Spidey. We need a list podcast called You Don't Know Jack. The live Yeehaw Bob, welcome back. That was a lot of fun. Caribbean Beach, Port Orleans Riverside. I do love the Port Orleans resorts. It's a great idea for Wednesday night. Top 10 cocktails at Gurgling Suitcase. So Laura, am I going to do a Galactic Star Cruiser show? Laura, I promise you that I will do not only a Galactic Star Cruiser podcast, but a Galactic Star Cruiser live video. I will do Galactic Star Cruiser stories. Stay tuned, because thanks to our friends over at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, there's going to be some Galactic Star Cruiser goodies that are coming. Top 10 cocktails, more restaurant reviews, please. There's a couple of restaurant reviews that I've been thinking about. I have to figure out where I want to go next. Do you know that I've never done Topolino's Terrace. I haven't done Three Bridges. I haven't done Yak and Yeti. I haven't done, there's a lot. Even some of the old timers. I've never done Tiffin's. I've never done... I should really make Becky crazy. I'll do a live review with Becky at a counter service, and then a week later, I'll be like, here's my live review from Topolino Terrace and Victorian Alberts. And that sound you hear is Becky screaming at her phone right now. Top 10 lounges with Becky. Christine, I've been waiting for Becky to do that show for years. Literally for years. But I'm going on a cruise here. I'm cruising there. I can't because she's very, very busy. It's very tough to lock Becky down. Now do you hear that? Now do you hear Becky screaming? Because I do. I'll fly down just to join you. Angela loves Topolino Terrace. Love Three Bridges and Topolino's. Sheesh, what's stopping you, says Beatrice. I know. Darren says, I've heard good things about that boathouse place. I've heard really good things. Look, Becky is screaming. At any second now, my phone is going to beep with a text message of non-Disney, extremely offensive and graphic words from one Becky Menken. In 3, 2, and here it comes. I can hear her screaming. See, Sheila Smith Ward. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. How about some lounge reviews? I do need to do. I have not done. No, have I? Have I done? Yes, I've done. No. Oh, we did do Nomad Lounge, but I think we did Nomad Lounge, and then they completely redid the menu. So now I need to go do that. Maybe, maybe, maybe Three Bridges has to happen soon. Maybe while Becky's here, we'll do Three Bridges Lounge. We'll see. We'll see. I have never done a live review of Restaurant Marrakesh, which is not open yet, correct? And I've always wanted to. I haven't been to Marrakesh in, it's probably 20 years, Kendall, since I've been there. She's purchasing a Lou puppet on top 10 restaurants for gluten-free. Who did I have with us once that was a gluten-free diner? Because I do enjoy my gluten. So Amanda Bonner loves Three Bridges. If only Amanda was local. Oh, wait. She is. Yeah. And the fact that I'm starving right now, this is not a good conversation. A lot of love for Three Bridges. All right, so I'm going to write Three Bridges down. Three Bridges. I could easily do a review of Topolino's, but I could give it to you right now. Oh my God, the chicken sugo rigatoni is the best pasta I've ever put in my mouth in my entire life. The filet mignon is an incredible side dish, arguably one of the best steaks on property. Oh, by the way, I need to do a top 5 steaks in Walt Disney World on a live show one day. Like, I can do the entire show right here because I know exactly what I would say. I would just, and Becky just texted me. Jerry Johnson, Three Bridges is it's not even waterside. It is a what do you call it? It's like a water top restaurant at Coronado Springs. It is an outdoor, open air bar lounge restaurant. I hear there's some late night spots around if you're that hungry. Top 5 places for a late night snack that I want to go to but don't feel like putting on pants or dealing with crowds. Territory Lounge. I'll Territory Lounge / Geyser Point. Sanaa, so far away. God, the bread service is so deliciously good. Is the lounge... oh God, it's been so long since I've been there. The lounge at Grandestino, Dahlia Lounge. Dahlia Lounge is Becky and I. We had a very nice planning meal charcuterie cocktail board thing one night up there. Where else is a good late night lounge? Theoretically, you could go up to the lounge at California Grill. I mean, there's not a lot of bad lounges. It's not a lot of bad lounges. We've done live from Trader Sam's a couple of months ago. Trader Sam's was great. We had a really good time. A little loud on the inside. Made it a little tough. Haven't done Three Bridges. Katie, you've got to do it. And Topolino's, ay vey, so good. Topolino's breakfast. You know what would be nice? Wait, is Becky should probably book me a room, like courtesy of MEI and Mouse Fan Travel for all your vacation planning needs. Like, book me a room for a couple of days at Grandestino Tower. We'll do a full resort report. We'll do a live review of Topolino's for breakfast. Then I'll do a live review for Topolino's for dinner. I might even be able to do a live review of, sorry, not Topolino's. I'm getting confused. Riviera, not Topolino's. Oh God, the steak place. You can see how long it's been since I've been there. The steak place up on top. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I'm famished. I'm staying at Animal Kingdom in February. Of course you are. Hint, hint. What's the hint? What is the hint for you staying at Animal Kingdom in February? Drive down so I can buy you drinks at Sanaa Late Night Lounge? That's not a hint. Um, Three Bridges Manchego cheese dip is heaven, says Maggie. I have not met many cheese dips that I don't like, by the way. We had a great planning meeting there. Remember that thing we decided we wanted to do? Hopefully 2020. Becky, we have so many plans that we've talked about doing, including plans I haven't even told you about yet. So I don't remember specifically what they are. Have I interviewed the lady who makes the candy animal? So Miyuki is no longer there. Actually, Karen, Miyuki hasn't been there for a number of years. Miyuki hasn't been there probably for, I guess it's got to be at least 5 years, if not more than that. Toledo. That's it. It's been closed for so long, and I still haven't actually had. Now, have I have a full meal there? I haven't had a full dinner there. I need more than one cheese dip. It's small. Marla Chan, you get me. Marla Chan understands me. Marla Chan understands me. So yeah, there was a lot to be excited for and thankful for, and now all I can do is think about lounges and cheese dips, and all the places I need to go and do a live dining review of. I mean, I guess I could do one of them with Becky, like since she's here and is gonna pay. Have I ever done a review of Pecos Bill? I don't think I ever did. I had actually planned. I was gonna do for a video or for a live video. I was going to do the oh my god, what do they call it? The Pecos Bill like nacho challenge, where it's like this $99 thing and it's supposed to be meant for like 6 people. I was gonna see how much I could eat by myself, and then they took it away. Like they took it away even like pre-COVID. I don't know why, but I would love to have done that. I've done live from Boathouse before. Toledo is open now. Yeah, I haven't been. The tomato bread at Three Bridges is amazing. All right, Three Bridges is on my list. I might have to do that sooner rather than later, especially now. Like the weather's nice. You can sit outside. They have a little fire going. You sit right by the water. That's a nice, like, early evening, get all the lounge food kind of night. Mary T. Wells, I am craving cheese. Actually, you know what I would love right this minute? I know I'm a homer, but the Boathouse pimento cheese dip may be some of the best pimento cheese dip I've ever had. That right now, waterside, that would be a good night. I mean, you could throw a couple of filet sliders in there just for fun, and maybe a little tuna poke with the crab and avocado on the side just for giggles. But Jim finally just had the bread service for the first time at Sanaa. Right? With all those dips and the garlic. Oh, God, I could eat those cloves of garlic like they're cloves of garlic to me are like, it's like candy. They saw me coming and close the challenge. Like, Jeff, there was a lot. I mean, it was like this huge mound of nachos and cheese, whatever that plasticky cheese they put on it that tastes so good. I am, for purely selfish reasons, I am looking forward to the holiday crowds going home so I can get back into the parks. And although I'm going to try and get healthier in 2022, I need to get rid of. I need to sort of improve stuff. So, who am I kidding? Bring me an extra order of pimento cheese dip. I can't even say it on a top 10 appetizers on property. You know what, Jim? I like that. Appetizers. That's a research project right there. I still have to do top 10 burgers, or I think top 10 burgers might have to be a top 5. I might do like as a top 5 live on a show, because 10 burgers is a lot. But if only there was somebody. If there was somebody who could go with me to help me research some of the many oh so very fanciful and delicious burger delicacies on property. I would be able to have a full slate of experiences to draw from to do a proper top 10. Did I end up going to Boathouse last week? I haven't been to Boathouse in a few weeks. Cheese dip is making me think of cheese bread, and now the Brazilian cheese bread from Food and Wine. Kendall Foreman. There's nothing better than... Actually, they just opened up a little Brazilian bakery not far from Walt Disney World that has a lovely cheese bread, especially if you go in the morning and it's warm. Actually, no. Ay, Dios mío, tomorrow. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting up early, and I'm going to Juan Valdez. I'm getting a Colombian coffee and some Colombian buñuelos, and the little, which is sort of like Brazilian cheese bread, but it's a little bit different and oh so tasty and so good with coffee. That's my tomorrow morning treat. Deviled eggs at homecoming, Andrew. Man, deviled eggs at homecoming would definitely, and the hush puppies at homecoming would definitely fight for a spot on that top 10 appetizer list. Top 10 wings. Amanda Bonner, now you're talking. Now you're talking my language. Top 10 wings in Walt Disney World. I'd have to think about that. And I have to get my fat butt into the parks and start really doing some serious research. A lot of volunteers looking to come for any of the food related. Crystal Steers, that is the funny. What is a shareable meal? Have you ever been with? First of all, when you dine with me, your meal instantly becomes shareable. So if you're sitting within, I know I have little alligator arms, but if you're sitting within arm's reach, chances are I'm going to share some of your meal, which is why I bring friends to dining reviews so that I can eat off their plates and try a little bit of everything. So technically everything is shareable if we're sitting at the same table. But if you stick your fork in my chicken sugo rigatoni, you're going to pull back a stump. That's all I'm telling you, because I don't like Mary T. Wells, a funky chicken right now would be so good. If only there was someone who would come and pick me up and take me to Disney Springs for a funky chicken sandwich. I mean, I'm not serious because I'm not wearing pants. But in theory, if there was a way to get a funky chicken sandwich delivered here, that would be better. Marla Chan says Three Bridges has a burger that's probably one of the best. It just knocked down a bit due to Steakhouse 71. I'm starving and intrigued. Hunter volunteers as a burger tester. Top 5 adult beverages. That's a Becky list right there. Top 5 mac and cheese. Man, the lobster mac and cheese or the shrimp and andouille mac and cheese at Boathouse is going to be really, really tough to beat. That's going to be really tough to beat. I'm trying to think where else I have had equally good, if not better, mac and cheese on property. Where's the best mac and cheese on property? Anyone? A few weeks since Boathouse, how do they feel? We're just giving each other a little bit of space. I wanted to give other people the opportunity to go and eat there and free up some table space. Beatrice, I know. My ideas for getting healthy, they come and go very, very quickly. I am going to do a show, though, about eating healthy at Disney. Obviously, I'm bringing in experts who are not me, but I am going to do a show about eating and getting and staying healthy while you're at Walt Disney World. Watching you talk about food is like watching a child waiting for Santa on Christmas Eve. Darren, you know what? It's the little things that make me happy. Food is one of them, which is so funny, like I said, because as a kid, I hated to eat. I hated eating. I remember being at my grandmother's. I don't know why I share such personal stories. I remember being a kid at my grandmother's house in Brooklyn, and it was an up and down. So my grandparents lived on the first floor, my aunt and uncle on the second, and there was like a shared basement that had this huge table. I mean, when the families got together every single Sunday, there was probably 25 to 30 adults at this table. Sometimes it was a kid table. And I remember one time, I don't remember if it was like a holiday or something. I was not I just wasn't a big eater. And they made me sit there until I finished all my food. And then one of my cousins comes over and he's like, Lou, look, if you take your peas and your carrots and your mashed potatoes and you spread them around the plate, it looks like there's a lot less food. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, I can't believe it. It works. And of course, every parent knew that trick and they just pushed them all back. Whatever. Traumatic, I'm fine. Therapy, I don't need it. I'm all good. This is not something I carry with me. Top 10 drinks, top 10 ribs would be good. Jim just made wings in our new Ninja. I want to see if... No, Jim didn't invite me over for wings and Ninja. Top 10 resorts for movies under the stars. Oh, I remember once watching a movie in the Kidani pool at Disney's Animal Kingdom one night, and I was like, this is a good night. This is a really, really, really... That's a nice... Disney does it really, really well. Best resort day activities. Better barbecue, Regal Eagle, or Polite Pig. Nick, I'm going to have an answer that's going to surprise you. I have not eaten at the Regal Eagle yet. I know. Here's my card. I know. I have not. I haven't even tried it. I have not tried anything at Regal Eagle. If they did DoorDash from Everglazed, I kid. See, now you're going to make me look because I'm not sure if you're kidding. I'm pulling up my app. DoorDash. If Everglazed is on here, I am going to freak out. And I'm not kidding. I'm going to order and I'm going to order an ube donut too. Oh, so sad. No results. I'm not sure if that was a serious question or just being mean, but I'm all choked up again. Oh, homecoming mac and cheese. We need to do like a mac and cheese throwdown. Like, sit my fat butt down and lay out like 5 different mac and cheeses. Like a blind taste test, like the Pepsi challenge. Is there a way that we can make this happen? Like, get mac and cheeses from 5 locations. And I'm not being selfish. I just think this would make good TV. Live video, whatever. Put 5 different Walt Disney World mac and cheeses in front of me. Blind taste test. And I rank them. This way I don't want to be swayed by seeing the name and be like, oh, Boathouse. I want to do a legit taste test. The best cruise food, Jeff C. Oh, my friend. The food. I am so looking forward to taking Jeff. Jeff, I'm going to take you under my big fat chicken wing, and I am going to guide you through the culinary joys that await you on Disney Cruise Line. Tuna towers. I kid you not. Late night chicken tenders up on deck or back in your room. I mean, not together back in your room, but room service. They're so good. The little truffle per set. I mean, there's a lot. Whew, we're going to eat well. I'm not kidding. Bring a pair of pants that's just about a size larger, just so you can grow into them by day 2 or 3. So, Colton says, I'm new to the show, but love all things Walt Disney World. Colton, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it. And where are you watching from? Everglazed is now I'm going to check Uber Eats. If Everglazed is on it, why are you being so mean to me? Wait, stop it. Come on, Everglazed. Come on now. No, come on. Now why am I falling for this? You know what, Jennifer, you're right. Chicken Guy's mac and cheese is yummy. I was there a month or a couple of months. I've lost all track of time. I was there with Connor. What was I doing? I was there for something. and I reviewed. Remember, I was posting. I showed. Did I do it? It was a live show, or maybe in my stories. I ranked my top 5 sauces. I did like a day. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the day I did the takeover of Disney Springs. But you're right. The mac and cheese there is really good. Now I want chicken guy. Now I want chicken guy, chicken tenders. And so maybe, oh God, the crowd's going to be so bad tomorrow. Next week I'm going to go after everybody goes home. Tina says, what's the coolest collectible I got this year? So Tina, I've actually been doing the opposite. I've really been trying to minimize, and it's less about stuff and more about simplicity and enjoying the I don't want to get all into my like weird Japanese philosophy stuff, but there is something about enjoying the empty space and some of the that being said, wait, so for my birthday in August, my son bought me the one thing. I never asked for anything, but the one thing I really wanted was the Lego bonsai, because I have my poor little bonsai that I got for, I don't know what it was, is not, he's not faring well. I've got to put him out in the sun, but they got me the Lego bonsai, and my best Christmas gift that I got was, it's been sitting under my desk since August. I bought my son the Daily Bugle for Christmas, because awesome dad. And we were out, me, my son, and my daughter were out, and my daughter's like, I really think I would like to build those Lego flowers. Like, Lego makes these cool little stemmed flowers. So I'm like, turned the car around, went to Target, and don't cry. Be strong. The best gift I got for Christmas was time. And the couple of hours that I spent sitting at the dining room table with my 2 kids building Lego, I literally was like, God, do you want to take me right now? I'm all good. Like, I'm all set. But please don't drop it. Please don't drop it. Please don't drop it. If you're able to get it, the Lego bonsai is so cool. And I don't have to worry about watering it and caring for it and pruning it. Because it's not going to, but it's also like you can move it around. And so you can almost sort of design it to be your own. And it comes with like a base and like filler for the bottom. It's really, really cool. So that's the collectible that I got this year. And yeah, I haven't really like bought anything else. That's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Top 10 sauces at Chicken Guy. I did it, and I think it's still in my stories, Caleb. I think I still might have it on my... I do. If you go to my Instagram stories, there's me, probably about 15 pounds lighter than I am right now, and... Oh, look, wait. Whoever said it, was it Jennifer? You're right. The loaded mac and cheese. This loaded mac and cheese, I have thoughts. The sauces. Oh, wait, there. Hoochie mama. God, I gotta go. Now I gotta go to Chicken Guy. Next week, I kid you not, I'm finding a reason to go to Disney Springs and go on a Chicken Guy. Jeff C is like, will you please get back to Spider-Man and spoilers? I will, I promise. I cannot wait for Salt and Straw. The food on the cruise, so good. Tuna Tower. God, I can't wait. I got pregnancy jeans for the cruise. I'm considering just going, like, I wouldn't call it giving up, Jeff, but I'm just considering going for the moo-moo. Like, if I just get a moo-moo, it's just, I'll walk around and go, you know what, that guy, he's just given up. He's just living his life. He's enjoying things, and he's wearing a muumuu. And I might be okay with that. I might be Lou singing to his cruise chicken strips reunited, and it tastes so good. Derek, you know what? Just for you, if I remember this when I get my chicken strips on the cruise, on our Marvel Day at Sea cruise in February, maybe I'll even sing it and record it and play it on a story because they're really that good. Crystal wants the watermelon soup from the cruise. That Becky loves her strawberry soup. You can go to Chicken Guy. I know you can go in winter. Considering the crowds probably in Disney Springs today, it might actually be faster for me to drive to Winter Park. Derek says, here's the perfect meal. Let's analyze this. Chips and dips duo at the boathouse. Shrimp and andouille mac and cheese with the lobster, obviously. Ending with the chocolate. I will agree with all of that, but I will actually opt for the blueberry cheesecake and a nice cup of Earl Grey tea with a little bit of honey. That right there. Derek got the Lego bonsai for Christmas. I'm so excited. Lego is my coolest thing. I know. I'm really, despite rumors to the contrary, I'm really a very, very simple person. Like, I don't need a lot. I don't want a lot. Like, my birthday gift that I was able to build in December was my best Christmas gift. If that tells you anything about me, giving myself the time to spend to build it. That's it. That was my that was my gift. So, although I would like to actually like care for and prune and grow and again, not to sort of get all Japanese, like there is something about the process of nurturing a bonsai tree and caring for it and the simplicity. I don't mean like Mr. Miyagi, but maybe sort of like Mr. Miyagi, like the care and the effort of delicately pruning and very deliberately how you do it. But who am I kidding? I'm never going to get that time again. So I just forced myself to do it. Salt and Straw, Kim, is it is a specialty like ice cream store. There's one in downtown Disney in Disneyland. Not the sweets guy. It's actually fantastic. Like, it is phenomenal. And my kids, I think my son is one who says it's the one ice cream he had there is the best ice cream he's ever had. So it's very, very good. It's going where that weird jewelry store was next to Sosa Cigars, in between Sosa Cigars and the AMC movie theater. So, although I'm very surprised Sosa Cigars is still there. But, let's see. If you think Animal Kingdom is so far, don't go to work. Beatrice, I'm not kidding. If you ever want Gideon's cookies, it's faster. I know it because I've done it. It's faster to drive to Winter Park, like during the week. Drive to Winter Park during the week, get there when it opens, get all the cookies you want with no line, come home, and just sit on your couch and eat. Not that I've ever done that, but theoretically, they have done like scientific like case studies and show that it's actually faster. Apollo brunch on a week from tomorrow. Stuart, I'm excited for you and jealous. Not the sweets guy. I've seen you take down the blueberry cheesecake like it was a piece. That's a bold face, almost a bit of a lie. I've never eaten a full piece of blueberry cheesecake by myself. I'm thinking if that's actually true. It's true. Yes, I've never eaten a full piece by myself. I've always shared it with others. I can't eat the whole thing. The peanut butter from Cold Brew from Gideon's is great. My daughter's not a coffee person, but she swears by that. If only I had a child who drove, who'd be willing to go get me a peanut butter cold brew, maybe I'll get one tomorrow. Oh, God, the crowds. If I go early enough, I could get in the virtual queue for Gideon's, get me a little bit of chicken guy. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to the Colombian. I'm going to go to Juan Valdez, get a good coffee and a buñuelo for breakfast. Then I'll go over to Disney. This is never going to really happen, but then I'll go over to Disney Springs, get in the queue for Gideon's, have chicken guy for lunch, get Gideon's and the cold brew for dessert. That's a nice day. The crowds were scary yesterday. Yeah, Angela, I can believe it. I can believe it. And it's a double-edged sword because on one hand, we're getting what we wish for, right? When the parks first reopened, when the parks were closed, all we wanted was for people to come back. Well, people are back. People are back en masse. And it's the double-edged sword, right? Because it's the reason why, because people came back in droves, it's part of the reason why Disney had to implement some things, including, not to sort of go down this conversation rabbit hole, but including things like increasing pricing and changing things because it's the only way to limit some of those crowds. And the Christmas crowds this year, even from what I saw, I took my kids to Springs last Monday. Yeah, it was last Monday. And we got there like when it opened we got there, it was probably about 11 o'clock. And the first 3 decks of Lime Garage were full. And this was a Monday, a Tuesday, Wednesday. It was not a weekend day. So it was very crowded, very full, and it wasn't even Christmas week yet. So, but I'll take the crowds all day. Disney is about the people. Yeah, it's striking that balance, right? Because when the parks first reopened and it was empty, it was like, oh, this is cool. You can walk on anything, but there was something missing, right? The people is what we're missing. I just wish the people weren't turned up to 11. I'd like the people to be at like a 3. Like if I could dial the crowds up and down based on like where I needed to go when, listen, I'm coming into Boathouse. Could we sort of dial the crowds back a little bit to sort of part the Red Seas like Moses? Let me get to my mac and cheese and other 17 entrees, and then you can dial the crowds back up again. So what do I think about the food during I think the food during the Flower and Garden Festival is some of the best food of any of the festivals. For a lot of reasons. And actually, if you go back to last year's Flower and Garden Festival live review, we actually talked about that. But let's just, before we go, right, because we can talk about this kind of stuff and sort of the best, and I will be doing a look back on 2021 for the next week's show. If only I could find anybody to do that show with me, I'll figure somebody out. I'll get the phone book and I'll just I'll do like Steve Martin and the Jerk. I'll just open up and I'll just look down and yeah. But I do very quickly want to touch on Spider-Man No Way Home because I was going to do it as a full podcast. And then for a variety of reasons, I opted not to. One, because I know not everybody has seen it. 2, maybe not everybody who listens to the show is strictly a Marvel fan, and I didn't want to sort of monopolize an entire episode with it. So if you have not seen Spider-Man No Way Home and do not want to be spoiled, I would suggest that you go to the movies right now or possibly allow yourself to be spoiled. I'm sure you probably know a lot already. I'll try and make this conversation as spoiler-free as possible. What I will tell you is this. Spider-Man No Way Home was not only the best Christmas gift I ever could have asked for, but I am not exaggerating, nor am I caught in the moment, because I have had some time to distance myself from it. Spider-Man No Way Home might very well... It might be the best Marvel movie, period. It is without a doubt in the top 2 or 3. Like, top 2 or 3 Marvel films, period. No exception, nothing. It's that good. I saw it the 3 days in a row. The first 3 days it came out. My son has seen it 5 times so far. I want to go see it again in a theater. Once the crowds go away, I think I might even go and sort of upgrade to like the Dolby Theater or an IMAX theater to see just how good it is. And again, I want to try and remain as spoiler free. Jeff, you're right. It is. It's the best Spider, and it's not even a little biased. No, Carol, I'm not. I'm not, because I've seen every single Marvel movie. I've been reading Marvel comics since I was a little kid. I've seen like every superhero movie, certainly everything in the Marvel, even pre-MCU. And yes, I know I'm a Spider-Man fan, but this movie, like all three acts, because three is the magic number, all three acts delivered. It was an emotional roller coaster. I cried from joy. I cried from sadness, like real sadness. I cried from just the theatrical experience of watching that in a theater again with other people. And what I realized, and again, there's a lot of things that I don't want to spoil. It's not because, or just because, of Dr. Octopus and my favorite villain, who was the Green Goblin. I have a huge, I don't know if I can I, whatever. I have a huge Spider-Man cover, which is the Green Goblin Last Stand cover. He's my favorite Spider-Man villain. Willem Dafoe should get some sort of recognition for his performance, because it was that good. But there were people over the years who not necessarily complained, but were like, well, why hasn't the MCU told the origin story of how Peter Parker became Spider-Man? And the answer became clear at the very end of No Way Home, because it was at that moment Peter Parker didn't become Spider-Man until that final scene in No Way Home. Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, that is his origin story. His origin story has nothing to do with getting bitten by the spider. It has nothing to do with losing Uncle Ben. He became Spider-Man in this movie, and there are specific moments that I don't want to. Can I spoil? Am I allowed? Can I spoil? Can I spoil? Can I? Am I? Like, is there anybody who would be really upset if I spoil? I think enough time has gone by. Like, I think, because I need to sort of have this conversation, and I don't want to just limit it to those of you who are in the nation, because I know not everybody is able to get on those calls. Peter Parker, and if you know the story of the 30,000 foot view story of Peter Parker, he doesn't become Spider-Man when he's bitten by the spider, and he doesn't become Spider-Man when Uncle Ben dies. Right? There are events that happen later on. But for this Peter Parker, for the MCU Peter Parker, he didn't become Spider-Man when he made his homemade costume. He didn't become Spider-Man when he joined the fight in Civil War. He didn't become Spider-Man when Tony gave him the suit. He didn't become Spider-Man when he made his own suit with Happy Hogan, and Happy gave him that look on the plane in Far From Home. Because Peter Parker didn't experience the things he needed to become Spider-Man. What was the one thing that Peter didn't have? Well, it's really two things. It's not one. He needed loss and he needed guilt. And he didn't have those two things until, I'm spoiling it right now, until Aunt May died. First of all, when she gave the line, as it is in the original comics, the quote is not, "With great power comes great responsibility." The quote is, "With great power, there must also come great responsibility," which are two completely different meanings. There must also come right? Because now the onus is on you, right? Because if you say with great power comes great responsibility, it implies that you have power, you get the no, you have to sort of have that great. He did not get that responsibility until so he has the guilt of her death. And I didn't realize it until I watched it the second time because I was hysterically crying, that he reaches behind her hand and he literally has her blood on his hands. I'm like, that's what he needed, right? He needed that. And then he needed to be redeemed. So when he's about to sort of go all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on Willem, who took it like a champ, and Toby steps in the way, right? He takes this next step. He takes that sort of moment of redemption and responsibility. And then he doesn't become Spider-Man. Oh, God, I love it so much. God, he doesn't become Spider-Man until he makes his own costume. Sews it with his own hands using the sewing machine that you can see in an earlier scene. He has his own apartment. He's on his own. He has the guilt. He has the redemption. He makes his own suit. When he jumps out that window, Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man. Jotzi! Oh my God, I'm going tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow on a matinee. I don't care. Work be danged. I'm like, it is so. Tom Holland is not done. Tom Holland is without a doubt not done. And like, just how do I say this? So Tina, the little Lego mini. Now I'm going to potentially spoil something. So the little Lego at the end holds more significance to him than just the Lego figure and just the memory of Ned. This is potentially a spoiler going forward, because in the comics, Ned becomes the Hobgoblin. So Ned becomes a villain, and if you remember, in the film, he goes, Peter, I swear to you, I'm never going to become an evil villain and try and kill you. Yes, you are. And if you look at Jacob Batalon over the past number of months, he's actually been losing weight. He lost like 95 pounds. I wonder why. I wonder what potential role he is getting ready to set up for. That villain, that emperor at the end, is indicative and reflective of not just his memory of Ned, his friend, but it's going to be foreshadowing of Ned, his nemesis. And yes, I would hope that they show it. If they don't show it on the Marvel cruise, I'll find a way to just I'll get it on my phone and we'll just huddle around the pool deck and watch it, because it's that good. I don't know, because it's a Sony film. I don't know if they'll show it on the cruise. I'm trying to remember if I was ever on one of the cruises where Far From Home or Homecoming was showing. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting, and oh, never mind. I won't. But clearly, I love this movie. I love the performances. I love the pacing. I love the acting. I love the callbacks. I love the pointing, the meme. And Andrew Garfield, speaking of redemption, Andrew Garfield redeemed himself in the best way possible. Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a really bad movie. Jamie Foxx is awful And that's not his fault. I mean, it's the way that they designed his character. It's the way they designed both in both contextually and in design ways, um, Electro. But the movies are really bad, and I think he's an awful Peter Parker. I think Andrew Garfield is an awful Peter Parker because, and it's not because Andrew Garfield's not a good actor. I think he's a fine actor. I think the script and the way Peter Parker was written in Amazing Spider-Man is not Spider-Man. And now with a multiverse, it almost sort of makes sense because it is a different universe where Peter Parker is the cocky skater boy. Peter Parker has never stood up to Flash Thompson. He wouldn't be riding around his skateboard. He wouldn't have that kind of attitude. So you can sort of retcon it now because it's a different Peter Parker in a different universe. But Andrew Garfield in this movie redeemed himself as Peter Parker, and he redeemed himself as Spider-Man. And the tongue-in-cheek apologies and the tongue-in-cheek patting on the back of Tobey going, no, you are amazing. You are amazing. Like, embrace it. You are amazing. It's not just, it's so good. It's not just calling back to him being the amazing Spider-Man, but it's, Andrew, for all the grief that you got from fans, like, you are amazing. And he was so good in this movie. And when he cried, when he rescued MJ, like, that is exactly the way it should have happened. It is exactly the way it should have happened. And I was crying for him. Tobey Maguire, my back. Like, just, it's brilliant. It's just brilliantly done. Fan service was paid. Respect was paid. The acting was excellent. Every part of it, like every single part of it, was an emotional roller coaster. And the fact that we were able to see it together in theaters, I don't just mean together like me and my son, I mean all of us together in theaters. Please understand what I mean when I say this and the point of me telling the story. So I had a I'm not name drop. Please, I am not name dropping. Like, but I had an exchange with Kevin Feige after Spider-Man, and a lot of what he specifically talked about was, and this is why I like just him as a person, because it wasn't about the box office. It wasn't about the actors, the characters. He's so happy that it was a shared theatrical experience for fans to be able to enjoy that movie together in a theater the way it's supposed to be seen. Like, and I think that speaks volumes about the man, not the president of Marvel Studios, but the man who is the fan behind the movies. And I have such respect for him, for that, and that for him was the most important thing. And again, it goes to the character of, not the character, but the internal character of the person. And he's right. And when you see, and I don't know where you sort of were and what your sort of theatrical fan experience was like, the first time you see some of those moments happen, and there's that collective, like, you want that, right? You want it to be authentic. Like, there are some you'll see online that are, I think they're a little exaggerated for effect. Sometimes this may come as a shock to you. Some of people's reactions to things are a little exaggerated for effect. Like, our theater, like, the gasps are real, the sniffles were real. and I love that, and I hope that you were able or are going to be able to get that experience and see it in a theater that way. Just like when, spoiler, like when Cap calls Mjolnir, that may be one of the single greatest movie moments, period. Like, not just a Marvel movie moment. It may be one of the single greatest movie because nobody was expecting it, and it was just so genuine. And if I'm ever having a bad day, because it happens, and I do, I will put on Endgame and I will fast forward to that moment, and I will watch that, and I will watch the portal scene, and then I'll turn it off and get back to whatever it is that I was doing. So, but is Spider-Man No Way Home the best Marvel movie? You tell me. Is it the best Marvel movie? If not, where does it rank for you? And that is where I will let you ponder that question. In our East Texas theater, someone chatted, "They're on the Shield, y'all." Sometimes the reactions and the sometimes the reactions are as priceless as what is happening on screen. But yeah, tied with Captain America. Yeah, so Tina, I mean, I think that was obviously the point of what Electro was saying is that the second sort of tie to Miles Morales. The first one came in Homecoming, right? When he talks about his nephew that lives in that, that's sort of him talking about Miles Morales. I think you're going to see that crossover coming, but at some point later on. And I am going to do a show about the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the next few weeks, and there will certainly be talk about No Way Home. However, for tonight's purposes, as the clock starts to count down very rapidly to the end of 2021, I have no idea how it happened. I am not going to ramble on much longer and wax prophetic, but I will just say thank you for, once again, an amazing year. The best part of my year has been you, and has been the blessing that you give me every day of being able to do this, to share it with you, to laugh with you, to cry with you, to eat with you, and to do what I love with you, and to share this thing that we are so passionate about together. It is a gift. It is a gift, and I don't take it for granted for a second. I hope that as you look back on 2021, you are able to choose the good. You are able to go and find and pick out those times, those moments that made you laugh, that made you happy cry, that you did good for others, and maybe others did good for you, not even necessarily in return. I think we need a little bit more of that in 2022. I think if more of us choose the good and do things with no expectation of return for other people, one person, one act, one day at a time, we will continue collectively and individually to get better and to be happier. Like I said, positivity is contagious, and I promise you it is a good thing. I hope that you had a wonderful holiday and a wonderful 2021. I know and I believe that the next year and the years that are to come are only going to get better. There are things that I have planned for us as a community. For those of you who are part of the Nation family, that I am looking forward to sharing with you and eventually Becky in the future. I couldn't do this without her and Mouse Fan Travel, so I want to obviously give huge thanks to Becky as well. But sincerely, thank you to you for just being here and for being my friend. Like I mean it. We might not have ever met face to face and shared that handshake, hug, and or mac and cheese just yet, but you are my friend, and I am grateful for the friendship that you extend to me. Have a very safe happy, healthy, and delicious new year. And I look forward to seeing you in 2022. So until next time, see ya.